Hey guys, Jason here at 410. Just wanted to talk with you today about 3 horror stories that we've dealt with in the property management arena. But before I do that, if you'd be so kind as to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, if you would, and hit like on this video, we'd really appreciate that. And you can be kept up to date on videos as we put them out, usually a couple times a week. We really do appreciate everyone who watches the channel. But on to the fun part. So I'm going to give you 3 horror stories that I have dealt with in property management, just because I want to share this with you and I want you to go, wow, that's craziness. So the first one is, we'll start light. We'll start with a funny one, right? So we had there's a tenant that put in a maintenance request for their exhaust fan not functioning properly. So handyman goes out to the property, goes into the water closet there, tests out the exhaust fan, seems to be working just fine. Tenant swears it's not working, so handyman takes a piece of paper, puts it up against the exhaust fan, turns it on, sucks it right up to the ceiling, showing that the airflow is there and it's working properly. And the tenant says, it can't be working. Every time I use the bathroom, it stinks in there for like an hour. Because he looks at the handyman and in all seriousness says, what am I supposed to do? And the handyman, trying not to be like rude or insensitive, says, well, I'm not sure, but I can't replace an exhaust fan that's working properly. It might just be something that you have to deal with. But on the inside, he's thinking, change your diet. I don't know. We all have some issues from time to time, I guess. But anyway, so that's not really a horror story, but that's the first one I wanted to share with you just because it's funny. Number 2, horror stories is, we love to kind of pick and choose the owners that we're going to work with, because a lot of owners decide that the bottom line cash investment is the only thing that's important, and those are not the owners that are a great fit for our team. We believe in stewardship. We believe in making sure that their investments are being cared for and that their money is being spent in a very responsible fashion, but we don't trade quality of a property or repair issues, functionality of amenities, things like that. We don't trade that because they cost some money. So we are judicious about how we spend money, but just don't work with owners that want to basically turn into slumlords, I guess, for lack of a better term. And we've dealt with a few of those in the past, and we've had to say, you know what, maybe this isn't the best fit for us. So we've had to move on. Number 3, we had a tenant that moved into one of our properties and proceeded to pay the move-in deposit, all that sort of thing. And then after that, just didn't pay the rent the very next month. We reached out to them, sent 5-day notices as we were supposed to, no communication, 0. Ended up having, unfortunately, to file eviction. It does happen. They can look great on paper, but you still may have a risk of dealing with somebody like that. So we've had to do that, but no communication, nothing. Get the court date, get all that stuff done, and then they reach out and say, oh, well, hey, I can pay this amount, but and I can pay the rest on this day. And we said, okay, we talked to the owner. The owner was fine with that. We started to set that up. First payment didn't make it. So we ended up having to go to court. Unfortunately, when we got to court, even though she had never said anything about COVID exceptions or anything to do with the COVID eviction issues, the judge decided on his own to say, oh, well, hey, if you just fill out this form for saying you have a COVID exemption, then they can't remove you from the property. So that's a horror story because, 1, it's not constitutional. Judges shouldn't be doing that. Number 2, she never had communicated. She had never said there was a financial hardship based on COVID, anything that would indicate for us to work with that. It's just sad. There's not a lot of personal responsibility sometimes, especially in the rental world. But that's definitely a horror story that landlords may have to deal with, and that's one of the things that we help with on our side. I've got more. I'll probably share more at other dates, but we've dealt with hoarders. We've dealt with pest infestations. A lot of them come from places that we've taken over management on that haven't been overseen well. And so when we get it, we have to play cleanup for a while. But that's just a few little stories that we have here. Examples. I personally like the funny one. The exhaust fan one is hilarious. I think I rolled and laughed around the floor once I heard it the first time. But I hope you found it funny. If you found this video helpful at all, or maybe just got a chuckle out of it, please share it with a friend, and we will see you